What's up, guys? I feel good, man. I feel good. I hope everyone watching feels good. If not, just put a lovely smile on your face. I promise you'll feel better. Oh, man. But sending my love to everyone watching, as always. Um, but then just following up from the previous video and thinking more on, this journey, I think it is important to identify the hidden programming that is affecting our lives, that is affecting your life, my life, everyone's life, that a lot of the times we tend to miss and overlook as well. And it is becoming so important to, become more self-aware and to become more understanding of what is truly driving us, what is truly driving our thoughts, our actions, our habits, to then be able to change those things to create different external outcomes in our lives, right? And I'll link that video in the description, but in one of my videos I broke down the ideas around the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind versus the and defining them and defining how really we interact with those different minds, but it becomes quite important when we're trying to evaluate where we are in life and evaluate like why things are the way they are in our lives, to be able to pinpoint those things to things that happened earlier in our lives that are potentially unresolved, that have pretty much led to us making the choices that we've made to then have the reality that we have before us today. And when I say hidden programming, I guess over the last several years I've come to realize how similar I guess our lives are to like a computer program. It's like, it is so interesting how we as humans, how our lives are and our habits and all these things are literally programs, because we have these different patterns of thoughts and habits that essentially create a personality, and the continuity of that creates our life and the story of our life, through this personality that's built on the thoughts, the habits, and the actions that we take. So all these are essentially different programs that we've installed, and some are not good, some we have to really detach from. Some are linked to childhood, some are linked to things that happen in relationships, some are tied to cultural practices. And so all in all, these actions, these circumstances, they do help to shape what we tend to believe in and what we tend to or how we tend to act and behave in our lives. And these different things get installed within us in our minds, and as I had identified in that video that I was referring to, they become pretty much installed in the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind then becomes that background engine that is running, or the background machine that is running these different programs that we've installed through the beliefs that we've subscribed to throughout our lives. And these beliefs have come from some have come from being in a very conscious state, some have come from us being in an unconscious state, but because we wouldn't have known better how to interpret these different events or these different actions or circumstances, we adopted a mindset around these different things, which then shapes how we express ourselves or shape how we treat ourselves or connect with others and all these different things. But saying all that to say that, going back to the subconscious mind and understanding its role in our lives, understanding how the different events that are running in the background that we have not addressed, how these things affect our decisions, our thoughts, our mindset. It becomes very important to become so self-aware of these things. And so I'm saying all this because when you do have circumstances that happen in your life and you're wondering, like, why am I responding to life this way? Why am I treating this person that way? Why am I feeling fearful? Why am I feeling doubtful? A lot of the times they are tied to those subconscious programming that we have. And so in being able to identify where they're stemming from, whether they're from the childhood situation, the childhood trauma, or it could be even after childhood. But a lot of the times what I've come to realize is that a lot of our challenges do stem from our childhood years, or do stem from issues that we have with our parents, or that come unresolved because a parent was not there, or what a parent did, or different family members, or other things like that. It doesn't all have to be tied to parental relations, but the fact of the matter is a lot of the issues that we have in our childhood years, because we were in a more mentally unconscious state, or not so mature to address these things in a better way, they ended up just becoming pretty much downloaded or installed in our subconscious mind, or in our system. And then we create these beliefs around these things, and we create these mindsets around these things, which then goes to influence our decisions and influence how we relate to the external world. And so a lot of people end up living in loops of unresolved issues, of unresolved traumas, of unresolved challenges, that drive their life and drive their decisions, and unfortunately causes them to attract a lot of negative circumstances, because they remain unconscious to those different patterns. So this all ties back to why it is so critically important to spend time with yourself in a very intimate way, meaning by spending time in the silence, by spending time to listen to your body, by spending time to listen to your heart, to listen to that inner voice, to really hear what it's trying to say to you, and to really feel like what's really going on, like where is this coming from. And if you are consciously trying to navigate these things, and you're spending time to allow yourself to feel safe enough with yourself to allow these things to come forward, then as they come forward, then it becomes a bit, I won't say it's easier, but you being aware of it, you're like halfway there in being able to resolve it and to forgive and to heal, but what I've identified throughout my personal journey and working with other people is that being able to facilitate a safe space, not just me creating a safe space to work with someone, but you creating a safe space for you to interact with yourself through love, through compassion, through just being graceful with yourself. It allows your body, your nervous system, your energy body to then allow things to properly come up for you, so that you can really receive it without tightening up, and kind of pushing it away. And the more you push back, the more intense it becomes within your body, within your mind, and the more damaging it will be, if left unresolved. So I know it's getting a bit dark. Hopefully you guys can still see me. But I'm saying all that to say that, it becomes very important to spend time with yourself to identify these hidden programming that are there within your life that you you probably haven't realized that's like the driving forces behind what you have going on in your life. And to do that, you do have to spend some time maybe isolated a little bit. I would say, or I'd like to think that helps a lot. It has definitely helped me in my journey to go to a space where I feel at ease, at home, like at peace. And for me, throughout the years, from childhood, nature has been that space for me. That's the one space I know that no matter what, like, you're loved unconditionally, you're not judged, and, you know, I can feel at ease. And I also have that space with people that I associate with, but it's definitely one of my key safe spaces. But I want to encourage you and your journey, if you're someone who is struggling with certain challenges in your life, whether it's mental or physical, you know, it does become important to spend time creating that safety for yourself with love, with giving yourself love, giving yourself that security and that trust you need for your own mind and for your own body to bring forth and bring up like what's really going on. And you have to really understand that a lot of times when these things get ingrained in our subconscious mind, it occurs because it's like the body has like this very structured defense system. And if you feel like you're getting hurt or harmed, especially as a child, these things get really ingrained deep within, and so your body will automatically, from a subconscious level, like do whatever it can to keep you protected. But again, when you're younger and you're not so mature in thought and you're not so self-aware, you create these beliefs around certain things that needs to be properly addressed and more healthily addressed. I'll just use the same word, so that you can properly heal from these things. Because what ends up happening is that you hold on to the hurt, you hold on to the pain, and you hold on to the negative without understanding that it is not meant for you to hold on to a situation. It's not meant for you to hold on to a negative circumstance and to use it as like the mechanism that dictates your choices and your I guess your life decisions. I think it's an element, but it's not like a one and done. And and so as you get more self-aware and more conscious of your life and your life's background and what you've went through, and you with an open mind more healthily address these different things and allow yourself, again, the safe space to talk to yourself about it, to talk to others who were involved about it, and to kind of let it out and let it dissolve, and to let that energy be released from your body and your energy body, then it allows for more harmony in you. So I want you guys to like really spend some time to think about that in your own journey, to think about what happened in my past that is causing me to think this negative, to be this doubtful, to be insecure, to be fearful, to be so detached, to be whatever it is, but I'm sure we can all identify different things that are happening in our lives now. And a lot of the times, not a lot, all the times, the things that are happening in the external world, they are connected to something that is happening internally within ourselves. And so it becomes important for you to try to identify really where is this coming from, to better address what's going on internally. And that is a lot of work. that is it takes a lot of effort as well. It's nothing that needs to be forced, and it's nothing that, you know, it's not the end of the world if you can't resolve certain things throughout your lifetime. But I would say, like, on a spiritual journey, on a journey where you're doing your best to live your life in the most harmonious way that is true for you, that it does make a big difference. It does make a big difference for you on your journey. So, saying all this to say, like, that, there are things there in our lives that are running on autopilot, that you have created in your belief systems mentally, that the subconscious mind holds on to then program your life, that you need to address and you need to come to terms with. And I know a lot of times these things can be hard, and they might bring you to a challenging place, but I think I'd like to be someone who could attest to the fact that it's a bit brighter on the other side. You can definitely smile about it and feel refreshed and more alive, and with less weight on your chest. You know what I mean? So I really encourage you guys to dig a bit deeper if you're someone who is facing those type of challenges, and you're at a standstill in your life, where whether it's at work, at home, with family, relationships, like, or just internal battles, like, go within, spend some time, meditate, create that safe space for yourself, whatever that might be for you. It might not be nature, it might be you just, taking yourself out on a fun trip, go and do a picnic, and just treat yourself, and just create that trust within yourself, so that your body and your energy body, can feel comfortable knowing that, okay, I can let my guards down, and I can breathe, because I'm in a safe space to express myself. And it's so true, guys. It's like, you might find it weird that you have this physical body, and you have an energetic body, and you have a mental body, but you do have different elements to this being that you are, and each of those aspects of yourself is affected by the beliefs that you have. But you do need to work with all of these aspects of yourself to create better harmony within you. Yeah, and I know that can be a lot to digest, but it is, it is something, it is a thing, it is real, it really is real. But yeah, I don't want to make this video super long, but again, I hope that this, again, brings some inspiration or some aid to you on your journey, and I will continue pouring from the heart and sharing as much as I can, but definitely sending a lot of love to all of you, sending my love and gratitude always, and I look forward to continue to share and continue to shine in my light on you, so you shine on me, and we share in that wonderful exchange, you know what I mean? So yeah, stay tuned for the next one.